Hi everyone, how's it going? My name is Desiree, and what I have for you today is a Vinyasa flow. What you're gonna need are 2 blankets, 2 blocks, and your favorite practice space. So when you have all of your things together, just place your props close by within arm's reach, and let's get started. So we're gonna meet on our backs. Have the knees bent, feet on the floor. And just take these first couple of moments before you shut your eyes to just feel into all of the parts of your body that are connecting with the ground beneath you. Place your hands by your sides. Get all your fidgets, all your wiggles out. With the eyes open, start to move your senses away from your external environment and start to move all of your attention, all of your focus, everything inward. And then go ahead and close your eyes. Turn your focus onto your breath. And then start to draw out your inhales and exhales, making them a little deeper, a little longer, a little slower. And eventually making this into a deep diaphragmatic breath, right? So just a deep belly breath. So as the breath gets deeper, you may even start to notice that the body relaxes more, maybe even feels closer to the ground. The body might even start to feel like it's spreading outward. So before we actually start to move our bodies, I'm going to move you through some breath work. This is called Samavriti, equal part breathing. What it's going to sound like is I'm going to say inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be a series of inhale, retention, exhale, retention. If at any point that the retention of the breath doesn't work for you or the counting is too much, if anything doesn't work, just pick up on a rhythm of breath that does work for you, right? But just focus on making the inhales and exhales the same length, the same texture, and that will be your exercise. So on your next exhale, fully expel all of the air out. Press, 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 so you can't press anymore. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. So keep moving like this. Keep breathing in this pattern. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. So make this cycle your last, and then return to just a natural rhythm of breathing. So you may leave your eyes open or closed, or you may open them. And we're going to start moving. So bring the right ankle over the left knee. All right, we're going to come into a figure 4. All right, so right ankle over the left knee, flex that right foot. So before we go anywhere else with this leg, we want to look, so a big focus of our movement practice today is going to be this lengthening action from the inner thigh, from the upper inner groin, right, out towards the knee. Right. So eventually we're going to bring this left thigh towards the face, right? But the entire time we're just going to press and lengthen and reach, again, this whole inner right thigh out towards the knee. So go ahead and draw the left knee up towards the chest. And then you can interlace the hands behind the thigh, on the shin, right? Anywhere that feels comfortable and accessible to you. Right? If you need to use one of your blankets to help bring the leg closer, then that works too. Right? You can also do this without the connection of the hands. But wherever you are, keep sending that thigh away from the right thigh away from the body, right? And finding length to draw the knee away, right? So essentially we're just creating more space. If any sensations or feelings or thoughts start to arise or get intense, right, you're just going to focus, even if they don't, regardless, you're just going to focus all your attention on your breath right now. But if those things become a bit more intense, then you're going to use your breath to regulate, right? Regulate your body, your mind. Go ahead and lower the left leg down. Give yourself a moment here. Uncross the leg. Bring the right foot to meet the left on the floor. Even yourself out and just take a moment to pause. Go ahead and stack the left ankle over the right knee. And then immediately come into finding that length on the left inner thigh, right? So left leg lengthens from the inner groin to the knee, moving away from the body. That left foot stays flexed the entire time. Draw the right leg up towards your chest, right? Interlace between the thigh onto the shin, right? Or you can use a strap or a blanket if the arms don't reach. And then go right back to the breath. Soften the muscles in the face, the chest. And then go ahead, step the right foot down. Pause here. Uncross the leg, left to meet right, even out. Extend the right leg straight. Extend the left leg straight. Reach out through the heels. Right, flex the feet, bring the pinky toes towards the face, and then lift the arms up overhead, like straight behind you. Find a Tadasana here, so bring those bottom low ribs down towards the pelvis. And we are gonna roll up to sit, right? So it's kind of like this tug of war between the upper body and the lower body to bring you upward into that 90-degree angle. Right, So we're going to start to get round through the spine. So roll up onto the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, take the gaze forward, and then dig deep into the abdominals, into the inner thighs to pull yourself all the way up. And then go ahead and you're going to cross the shins. Doesn't matter which one comes first. Press down into the feet. Again, dig into those inner thighs, stand yourself up, uncross the legs, walk it forward. Urdhva Hastasana, the top of your mat. Take the hands down to the heart. Shift your weight onto your right leg. Right, bend through the knee, hug that outer thigh in, or outer hip in, right? And then send that left leg back. Take the hands to the ground or to blocks for a low lunge. Stay strong in your undercarriage. So reach out through the back heel. All right, step the right foot back, downward facing dog. So as we move through our Surya Namaskar, you're going to have the option, as always, to either move forward into a Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose, or if you want, upward facing dog. So inhale, take it forward to plank, and then exhale, lower yourself down, your choice, right? Halfway or straight to the ground. And then inhale up, either cobra or upward facing. Exhale down. And then exhale back to dog. From the inner thigh, lift the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward in between the hands. Inhale, look forward and lengthen. All right, hug into that outer right hip. All right, we're gonna get a little crazy with this. We're gonna shift the weight forward onto that front foot. Lift the back leg up, draw the knee in towards the chest. So stay low, right? Like you're coming into chair. But instead, you're gonna stack the left knee over, or left ankle over the right knee, right? And so you're gonna come into figure four, take a gaze down at your legs, right? Find evenness where you can. And then just be here, right? So you're in this like figure four chair shape. And then step the knee down, stand yourself up. Did I say step the knee down, step the foot down to uncross the leg, and then dive and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Okay. Bend the knees, step the right leg back. Low lunge. Step the left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank pose. And then exhale, lower to the ground. Inhale up for your back bend. Exhale down. Take it back up to plank. And then exhale back to dog. From the inner thigh, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, look forward and lengthen. Okay, so we're gonna come back to that figure four shape. So shift your weight forward into the front foot. All right, lift the back thigh. And then draw the knee in and up. Stack the ankle over the knee. Find a bit of evenness in the hips, right? Give yourself time to adjust, right? If you need to come out a little to get in deeper. And then step the right foot down, stand yourself up, dive and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. This time come up to chair. And then we're going to go back to the right. So shift your weight into the right foot, step the left foot back. Hands to the ground, low lunge. Look forward and lengthen through the spine. All right, step it back to dog. Move forward to plank. Your choice, cobra or upward facing. And then we'll all meet back in a down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the right leg. Step it forward. Excuse me. Look forward and lengthen. All right, shift forward. Figure four. Take your time getting there. Set yourself up well. All right, find those same actions of lengthening out from the inner thigh. Excuse me. All right, step the foot down. Stand yourself up. Dive and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, chair pose. Shift your weight onto your left foot, step the right foot back. Take the hands down, low lunge. Step the left foot back, down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. And then choose your back bend. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg. Step it forward. Look forward and lengthen. Right. Step forward. Figure four. Right. Uncross the leg. Step the right foot down, stand yourself up, and then dive and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Right, bend the knees, chair pose. Then press down through the feet, stand yourself up. Hands to your heart, close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. All right, go ahead and open up your eyes. And sweep the arms up. Dive and fold forward. Right, plant the hands and either hop or step back to a down dog. Excuse me. All right, go ahead and lift the right leg and then step it forward. Press out through the front heel to straighten the leg, and then turn everything over to the right. Right, so just pause here with the hands down on the ground under your shoulders. Just shake the hips out from side to side. Right, so legs stay stable. take the hands to the hips. All right, reach out through the heels, stand yourself up. Take your time, go slow, lead with a flat back. All right, we're gonna draw the heels in, take the toes out wide, right? Goddess pose. So that same lengthening that we've visited already, we wanna find here, right? So get as low or as high as you need to really dig into those inner thighs, that inner groin, to lengthen, to take the knees back towards the pinky toe side. And so this whole pelvis, everything should feel a bit more upright and slightly pressing forward, right? So we're opening everything up. All right, take any other intuitive movements that feel good to you here. And then pause at center. All right, press out through the heels, straighten the legs. All right, and then turn the feet to neutral. So we're going to turn this into a warrior two. So this whole right inner thigh is going to rotate out, right? Again, finding that length, right? That extension. All right. Bend through the front knee. Take the arms out wide. On the back foot, find that inner line of the foot where like the inner arch would be, and take that all the way up through the pelvic floor, out through the crown of the head. So we're going to turn this into a high lunge. Right? So go ahead and press out through the front heel to straighten the leg. We're going to rotate forward. It's a little bit of a balancing act there. Right. So as you come forward to a high lunge, take the arms up. You're going to dig into that outer right hip. Right, you're going to shift your weight and then draw that left knee in and up, right, that 90-degree angle. Right, and then you're going to plant the sole of the foot onto the thigh, coming into tree pose. And as soon as the foot makes contact with the thigh or the leg, right, again, you're going to find that lengthening, that opening on the front of the hips and that inner thigh, that inner leg. So everything will hug out or hug in from the outer edges of the body. All right, and find a bit more length, both physically, energetically. And then go ahead and take the foot off the thigh, bring the leg back forward, step it back to a high lunge, hands to the ground, step back to a dog. All right, lift the left leg, step it forward. Press out through the front heel to straighten the leg, right? And then turn everything to the right. I think I had you backwards last time. Go ahead and take your hands to your hips and then lift up with a flat back. All right, and we're gonna come back to that goddess, right? So heels come in, toes go out. Take your time setting yourself up, but most importantly, find that length through the inner thighs. Take any other intuitive movements here that feel good to you. All right, but stay upright, stay lifted. All right, come back to center. All right, press out through the heels, straighten the legs. All right, and then turn the toes, the feet, the legs, everything back to neutral. So we're gonna come back to that warrior two. All right, so this time with the left leg, so rotate that whole thigh to move the entire leg forward. And And then bend through the front knee. Take the arms out wide. And then take your attention to the back foot, right? Find that inner line of the foot, follow it up the leg, up the pelvic floor, out through the crown of the head. And then press out through the heels, straighten the legs. You're going to turn and face everything forward. So rotate on the back toes. Come to that high lunge. All right, now hug into that outer left hip. Shift your weight forward. And then step the right knee up. We're coming into tree. The foot makes contact with the leg, right? Hug everything in, but then lengthen and expand. Take the arms up wherever you need to help balance. Put that physical and energetic direction of like upward lift. Off the thigh, draw the leg back forward, and step it back to that lunge, and then down dog. So typically I would give you the option to stay, and as always you can do whatever you want. But because we are dealing with a bit more opening, I am going to ask you to come forward to a plank and either move through a cobra or an upward facing dog. And then exhale back, down dog. Come on to your shins. Sit back on your heels. Close your eyes. Go ahead and open. All right, so we're gonna move into a pigeon pose, and how I'm gonna ask you to set your blankets up, right? If you don't have blankets, you can also use blocks. If you don't have anything, totally fine. Just be more conscious of where your tendencies are, right? And where you need to support yourself more, because that's the whole point of the props, is just to give us that extra support. So I always like to find these longer, more narrow rectangles, right? And if you come to a shape like this, right, you can find, you can make that rectangle by folding twice, just in half and then in half. Or you can also, if you need something bigger, slightly wider, right, you could do it in thirds, so that they're like this. I find that this blanket fold is best supportive when doing things like pigeon bridge, anything to just carry like the width of the body. So go ahead and come to sit up on your blankets. And I'll tell you in a second if you're using blocks, right, where to use those. So we're gonna come onto the right side first. So just so you can see me, I'll do my left side first. Right, so we're not gonna worry about bringing that front leg into a 90 whatsoever. We want the leg more folded, so that we're more on the shin and the top of the foot, right? So you may start to notice, like, if you're coming off your blankets, and that's totally fine, but at least just have the blankets here underneath both the hips and like the top of the, so it's gonna be the top of the thigh of the straight leg or the bottom back of the thigh of the bent leg. Right, so start to turn that back leg into neutral, even out the hips, right? If you need the blocks to help support yourself too, by all means, do what you gotta do. So I know a bit more of my natural tendencies just because I frequent this pose. So I know I need a bit more height on the top thigh of the straight leg, right? So eventually we are going to make our way down, right? And some of that support may shift. So as we're up, right, again, you just want to find as much evenness in the hips as possible, right? Because again, using the props is like filling in the holes. So when you're even, right, now we're going to start to take it down, right? So you're going to keep all the length in your trunk, right? You're going to walk yourself down. You're going to rest on your forearms, your hands, or you're going to place a block under your sternum, right? And a block under the head, right? But you do, again, depending on your range of motion, you do want to be supported. So evenness of the hips first, that's what we're trying to find with using our props. And then support of the chest and head secondary. And then when you find yourself in the shape without having to make any more adjustments, right, turn back into your breath. Use your breath to regulate, to bring yourself inward. What I didn't mention was that if you are using blocks, again, you're just using your props to fill in the gaps, right? So if you find that one of your hips is higher off the ground, then slide that support in that space. Because here in this pose, you want to be connected to the ground. You want to be supported. As your body relaxes, as time moves on in this shape, your body's going to want to spread and expand. So do make sure that you adjust and continue to relax and just follow what your body's doing. Breathe in a little bit deeper. We're going to start to make our way up. So lift the head, place the hands on the floor, and very slowly lift yourself up. You're going to sit on your support. You're going to bring that straight leg forward, and you're just going to pause in a seat. And then we'll switch to the other side. Right, so again, have the leg folded, right, so that you're on the shin, the top of the foot, right, and do take your time finding support and evenness in the hips. Right, so this side's going to be different than the other side. And all the while, again, we're still finding that length through the inner thigh. Right, so again, create more space on the front of the hips. Once you find evenness, right, Lengthen in the trunk and then fold forward. All right, so hip support first, and then chest, head support secondary. Turn into the breath. Draw all your senses inward. Breathe in a little bit deeper. Take your hands to the floor. Slowly bring yourself back up. Take the back leg forward. Find a seat and pause. Go ahead and open up your eyes. So just remove your blankets off to the side. And then grab your blocks. You're going to place one on its widest width, closest to you, one on its tallest height, further away. Right? And they're all just a few inches apart from each other. The shorter block, the bottom edge of the block is going to line up with the bottom edge of your shoulder blades. We're coming into supported Supta Baddha Konasana. Right? So in this shape, we are going to have the legs together as opposed to out. If you do not have blocks, you can always roll up the narrow edge of a blanket and make a bolster, right? And use that as the smaller block and use the second blanket as head support. But to come down, right? So knees are bent, feet on the floor. And just give yourself a moment to find the bottom edge of that block in line with the bottom edge of the shoulder blades. And then the top block, like I said, will support the head right around the occipital. The occipital would be that bone generally that sticks out through the back of the head, right? Or just kind of this lower dipping in part. Arms will come out to the sides. And then legs can be bent or you can straighten them, but keep the legs in neutral. Close the eyes. Find a deeper rhythm of breathing. Relax the muscles in the face. Allow the eyes to recede in their sockets. Remove the tongue from the roof of the mouth and let it rest on the bottom. Breathe in just a little bit deeper. Gently roll off of your blocks onto your right side. Remove the blocks from underneath of you. And then return onto your back, just where we started. Extend the right leg. Extend the left leg. Plant the hands on the floor. We're going to revisit Samariti, equal part breathing. So on your next exhale, fully expel all of the air out. And inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Do this a few more times. I'll come grab you when it's time to stop. So make this round your last. And then return to a natural rhythm of breathing. If you can stay here in Shavasana, then please do. If you have to come up with me, roll onto your right side. Use your arm as a pillow. Press yourself up to a seat. Take a deep breath in, followed by a deep breath out. If your eyes are closed, then go ahead and open them. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. As always, I love to hear your comments, feedback, your experiences. So enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you again.